And thanks for joining us for another edition of Weekend Winners, but it's with a twist this week. It's a little bit different, the setup this weekend here in southeast Queensland. Friday night metro racing at Albion Park. We've got Redcliffe on Saturday night, country class meeting, and the big sales day taking place on Sunday down at the Gold Coast at the Magic Million. So it's a little bit different, but metro racing at Albion Park, the Creek on Friday night, and that coincides with the opening round of heats of the Jim McNeil Trotting Championship for 2023. All in all, it's a really good card coming through, and we start at 5:25 on Friday night. So make sure you've got your dates right. Friday night, the main meeting, Albion Park, 10 races, 5:25. In this edition of Weekend Winners, we're going to talk with two of the best. The leading driver in the state right now, that's Nathan Dawson, and the man that sits behind Leap to Fame, Grant Dixon. They're our two guests, and I'm going to chat with them very shortly. The leading driver, Nathan Dawson, now jumps in the hot seat to go through his book of drives for Friday night's Albion Park meeting, so it's a little different this weekend, but hopefully there's plenty of winners coming Nathan's way. Appreciate the time, Nathan.
No, anytime, Chris.
Great way to start this meeting on Friday night. Uptown Beach Girl, she went to the paddock as a Group 3 winner, 2 for 2 this prep, and she's come back bigger and better than ever. Yeah,
she's really flying, since coming back from that spell, so I think it's done her a world of good, and I can't imagine her being too ready for the first couple, so I'm sure she's getting better as she gets into the preparation.
I had trainer Donnie Smith on radio during the week. They're focusing on the big mares races during the Constellations, but one important point that he highlighted was the fact last campaign she just had that tendency not to really put away her rivals. You look at these two runs this campaign, she's buried them.
Yeah, she has. Last campaign, if she was in front, she was always just winning by a head and nose. She's waiting up for them. But this campaign, she's, when you ask her, she'll go away from them, and it's a big asset to have in the bigger races.
So 2 for 2 this prep. So as a result, she keeps rising in grade. How do you sort of judge this field on Friday night?
Yeah, it's a step up again, as you do when you keep winning. But she's got the good gait and she's in form, so if she does what she did last week, she's probably not going to have to go a hell of a lot quicker to be winning.
All right. For sheer gate speed, is she more than okay in that respect?
Yeah, she's got really good gate speed, so, we'll press the button early and see if we can get across. If not, we'll try and hold a pretty handy spot. She's tough and she's got speed, so everything looks well for her.
In time to come, she'll be able to thump out a big mile at Albion Park, won't she?
Yeah, I reckon she will, and I reckon she's even better off cover. We haven't really driven her that way much because she's always raced good the way we've driven her, but I'd like to see her follow on a hot tempo one day.
Yeah, and as it stands right now, we're probably a little light on in the open mares sort of grade, so she's come along at the right time.
Yeah, she has. There's not a lot around at the moment, and a few of them are a bit in and out of form, so she's in form and she's right up there with the top ones, I think.
All right, well, she looks like she's come back better than ever. Uptown Beach Girl, exciting to see her again this weekend. Race 2, you're drawn out in 7 here with Anamato. Probably not the right gate for him?
No, not really. He might be a little bit below par of late. He's kind of mixing his form. The right horse shows up and he's in the right mindset. He's not without a show.
Is he better suited at the mile as well?
Yeah, I think so. I think he runs a good mile. As I said, lately we've probably been a fraction disappointed with him, but last week was a bit more promising after the early burn.
All right, that's a fairly deep race there. There's a number of horses that have really good number form against their name. Yeah,
that's right. There's good form there, and we're going to have to be at our best to get into it.
All right, race 3. This race over the mile, you're driving the last start winner, Uncle Chan. Now, he goes best in front. We saw that when he was able to score at Redcliffe last time out. But in saying that, you've got a stack of speed drawn to your inside.
Yeah, it's a bit of a tricky gate for us, Friday night. He's got good gate speed, but there's probably just as good underneath us. So it's a bit of a tricky race, but you're going to have to go forward and just see what happens.
There's every chance they could run a bit of time here, eh?
Yeah, it looks like it. It looks like a strong tempo race. So hopefully, if we can't get to the front, we can just find a spot somewhere.
All right, well, that's Uncle Chan in race 3. We go to race 4. This is Heat 1, Round 1 action of the Jim McNeil Trotting Championship. You've got a very interesting drive here, Gunning. He comes up from Victoria, twice Group 3 placed. What are the expectations here?
Yeah, he's had a few trials. First trial he did a few things wrong, but the next one was quite good. So I think if he brings his manners, he's more than capable in that type of field.
Okay, so given his credentials and the fact that he's got a 20-metre mark, is that a fair handicap?
Yeah, I think that's pretty fair. He's, as you said, he's got good form coming up here, and he hasn't really raced up here to show what he can or can't do. So, it's probably fair to be in that.
Okay, many are saying the first heat's the stronger of the two heats. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I'd probably agree with that. It's quite a strong race. But manners are key, and a standing start with the trotters.
Okay, well that's gunning there in the first heat of the Jim McNeil. Race 5, Mac Daddy. Is he crying out for a barrier draw, this horse?
Yeah, I think so. He's going well without a lot of luck. He's only had the couple local starts, but he's been good both times. So I think if he can get somewhere near the front end, he'll take a lot of beating.
He said, she said, draws the A, so obviously going to be a big rival here. But in all likelihood, do you want to be parked out, or you just want to be off speed with a little bit of cover?
Yeah, honestly, I'm not overly worried. I think he's more of a grinding type, but from what I've driven of him, the one start, he felt like he had a bit of speed, but we're a lot happier with his driving, now, and I'm pretty happy to be up there in 3.
Okay, excellent chance there, Mac Daddy. Race 6, this is heat 2 of the Jim McNeil. Naughty, first time behind this guy?
I've had a trial on it, and when it's trial, it was quite a nice trotter, so pretty excited to get behind this fella and take the reins while the rest is out.
Okay, so you're familiar with him. So you win the trial and then you get left off when he steps out.
Yeah, just keeping the seat warm, as part of being a driver, it goes around, comes around, but I was lucky enough to pick up the drive now when the rest I can't.
Yeah, absolutely. At his best, he's more than capable of winning this heat.
Yeah, he is. He's a handy horse, and he's got good manners, so that takes him a long way.
All right, well, that first round of heats over the 2,138 metres, and then we step up to the 2,647 metres for the final. Let's go across to race 8. Gwyneth P. You were aboard this mare last week, set up perfectly. She had barrier 1. Different scenario here on Friday night. She's drawn gate 9, so how do you play it?
Yeah, she's a nice little mare. I've only had a couple starts on her, and as I said last week, everything was set up beautiful for her. This week, she's going to have to need a bit of luck. I don't really think she's a type to be going around them. I think more through them. So, we're going to need a bit of luck on our side.
Okay. Main players are drawn, by the looks of it, gates 1, 2 and 3. Better Romance Jasper, Our Princess Kennedy. Are they the main players in your opinion?
Yeah, I think so. And they got the good draw as well to help them. So, I think they're probably the top 3 in it, and as I said, we'll just need some luck from that draw.
All right. And then the final race on Friday night, Philly 13, a winner 3 starts ago. How do you sort of rate her chances here?
Yeah, she's going quite well. She's probably going better than what most thought when she first started. So she's stepping up again, and she's going to bring her best form to be competitive in that.
She's got early speed, but there's some speed drawn to your inside, so it'll be interesting to see how you play that early.
Yeah, sometimes it's a bit tricky when you got gate speed, and you want to have a look early, you can get left out. So, we'll have a look and just see where we end up.
All right, moment of time now. What's the pick of your drives on Friday night?
Yeah, I'd say Uptown Beach Girl. I'm very happy the way she's come back and pretty excited what the future holds for her.
All right, get the money nice and early. Race 1, number 2, Uptown Beach Girl. As always, Nathan, appreciate the time. We'll see you trackside.
Thanks, Chris.
Grant Dixon back from a Sydney campaign in recent weeks, and he's back at headquarters Albion Park on Friday night for the opening round of action for the Jim McNeil Trotting Championship. He joins us now. Grant, appreciate the time.
No worries, Chris.
Race 2, Horse 1, your first runner on Friday night. Class to the max. He's going well and finally lands a draw.
Yeah, Chris, it's probably not his favourite trip, 2100, but like you say, he's got a good draw, and hopefully we can sort of keep him up close towards the lead.
Okay. It looks a fairly deep race. There's a few here that boast really good numerical form. So how does he sort of sit for you in this field, class to the max?
Oh, look, I think he can run the top 4. With a little bit of luck, we can run in the money. Just, he'll just need something to go his way. And, just there's a fair bit of pace outside of him there too.
Okay, but you prefer him at the mile?
Oh, I think he runs his best races over the mile.
Okay. Race number 3 on Friday night. You're represented by Delta 3. This mare's been a ripper since coming across from New Zealand, joining your stable. She puts in every time she steps onto the track.
Yeah, she's been a good girl. Yeah, she's good to drive and good going there. Probably got through her marks a bit quick, but I think she'll keep adjusting to the grade. And even though she's drawn a bit wide, I still sort of give her a rough each way chance.
Okay, it does look sticky on paper, given you've got so much speed drawn to your inside.
Yeah, that's right, Chris. But she does go best if she is up near the leader. So yeah, I'll just have to sort of probably chance my arm a bit.
Okay, they might be capable of running a bit of time in that race, given the form of some of those runners.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, let's go to race 4. This is round 1, heat 1 of the Jim McNeil, and the stable is well represented here. A trio of runners. Banff, he's fresh up. Zealous Spur, fresh up. I'm the Commando. So in many ways, you hold the key to the race. Are you happy with all 3?
Yeah, Chris, I think Banff will get better as the series goes on, but he is a horse that sort of bounced up and graded a little bit from last year to now. But I'm hoping that he'll take the step. Zealous Spur, we're pretty happy with him. He run a good trial last week, so I think he's sort of around the money. And Commando, well, he sort of likes the 2100. Gets a good getaway. He's normally not too far away in this grade, but he might struggle over the 26 in the final.
Okay, so whatever they do on Friday night, they're going to improve a stack in the coming weeks.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think they should just hopefully come final night, if we all get them there, they should be at their best.
Okay, just with Banff, he's a young trotter. Has he made improvement? Is there a noticeable change in him since we last saw him when he was successful?
Oh, look, Chris, I think the hard part for him is that he went from sort of standing 20 metres ahead of most of these horses, and now that he's back with them, so he will probably feel the strain a little bit, but I think as he gets racing under his belt, he'll adjust.
Okay, and with Zealous Spur, you mentioned his trial last week. That was a nice piece of work that he delivered last week in the trial.
Yeah, he finished off nice. Nathan gave him a good trip in the trial, and he really did finish off nice. So hopefully, if that'll top him up good for tomorrow night, and hopefully we can get through the series and be some sort of hope in the final.
Okay, and with Commando, fresh up, he can perform fresh, and he's such a good beginner. So if he gets a little bit of clear air to work with early, and if he normally steps like he does, he could be up in the first half a dozen pretty quickly here.
Yeah, he could. Adam can get him away particularly quick on the right night, and he could easily land in the first 4.
So if I was to pin you down for one of the 3 that you've got there, which one are you expecting to go well fresh up?
Zealous Spur.
Okay, Zealous Spur. We'll put a circle around him. What about race 5? You've got Blackjack Bart. He steps out, 2 off the second row. He's not far away, so is this a race that might be able to set up for him?
Oh, I think he's reasonably suited over the 2100. Probably best if he can get up near the leaders. He runs his best races. Yeah, so I'm not confident about his chances from there.
Okay, is the pegs an option, or you're happy to stay in the 1 wide line?
Oh no, if the race panned out, if the one did kick through, I'd definitely sort of head towards the pegs with him.
All right. Race number 6. This is heat 2 of the Jim McNeil. 2 runners here. Hello, Jolene, and Regal Appointment, who's fresh up. At his best, Regal Appointment, he's probably one of the class runners in this series.
Yeah, he had a bit of an issue. We've brought him back from that, and he's sort of come along good since his trial last week. So I think as the series goes on, if everything stays right with him, he's one that should progress as the series goes on.
And do we keep the fingers and toes crossed that Hello, Jolene just gets away?
Yeah, and probably get the Panadol ready, I reckon.
Is she a nightmare for you?
Oh, definitely, because she's got so much ability, but you seem to change something, you think, oh, yeah, we've got you, but then next minute we're back scratching our heads.
So she's a thinker.
Yeah, she's an overthinker, I think.
Okay. We go across to race 8, Jasper. Is this a perfect race for her? She draws well. She's the class horse of the field. Is this a perfect race for her?
Oh, look, I think it's a good stepping stone for her. She's going to keep getting fitter as get more runs under her belt. So I think she just sort of progresses a bit from her run last week into this week. She won't be too far away.
Were you happy with what you saw fresh up last week?
We're fairly happy with her work. I probably thought she may have just finished off a little bit better, but maybe just the race fitness just told on the end.
Okay, and the final race, another race for the mares. You've got this mare low flying, Miss Daytona, 2 for 2 since joining the stable. She's proven here at Albion Park. She's got the outside draw here on Friday night. Can she win again?
Look, I think it's going to be a lot harder for her from barrier 7. But winning form, hopefully she can just keep improving off that. It just draws a bit sticky, so I just have to probably let her stride off the gate and just see where we can get in.
Okay. First thought though, did you think she had enough speed to clear them to her inside?
Oh, I didn't think so, but I sort of only drove her once in the trial, and she won the trial. And Adam's driven her since I've been away, and she didn't really have to burn anything off. She sort of kind of worked to the lead all the time.
Okay. Well, it's a strong hand Friday night. Of your runners, which one are you most looking forward to?
Probably Zella Spur.
Zella Spur, that's in Heat 1 of the Jim McNeil, so that's race 4, number 10. And just in one word, are you happy with Leap to Fame?
Yes.
Perfect. Appreciate the time. We'll see you trackside.
Thanks, Chris.
And a big thanks to both Nathan and Grant, wishing them all the best as they go to battle on Friday night at Albion Park. Time now for a good gamble. I like race 1, number 2, Uptown Beach Girl. This mare's been awesome. 2 runs back. Remember, at the end of last year, she went to the paddock as a Group 3 winner. She's returned with 2 sparkling victories. I spoke with the trainer on radio during the week, Donnie Smith. He's aiming towards those big mares features during the Constellations, and she can easily stamp herself as the best mare in the state, and she's going the right way about it. The 2 runs back this campaign have been awesome. The trainer's confident. The driver's confident. We just heard from Nathan. We'll get on board as well. Race 1, number 2, Uptown Beach Girl. Hopefully she starts our weekend in the right way. We've got 10 races on Friday night. We start at 5:25. It's a little bit different. Friday night Metro Racing. We'll see you trackside at the Creek.